Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and man, oh man, am I tired. Just watching the downfall of the COD franchise in real time is honestly exhausting, and I know I can't be the only person that feels that way. Yesterday we covered the AI slop American Dad skins that were being pushed into the game, as well as we discussed Activision officially endorsing children playing the game, and honestly, that makes a ton of sense because one day after that, they have released COD Toons. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, freaking COD Toons, a full-on cartoon-themed event full of cel-shaded map variants, rainbows, unicorns, puppy dogs, and cartoon characters. The funniest part about COD Toons is there really isn't anything new or unique here, like the cel-shaded map variants were already in the game as added filler for Season 4 Reloaded. The only new thing that they added would be the $25 AI slop American Dad bundles as well as the event, which mostly just challenges players to play within the COD Toons mosh pit, which by the way is just a normal regular mosh pit on the already existing cel-shaded maps. They put so little effort into this event, man. You could argue that the final reward being an animated camo is good, but let's be honest here. This is what, like the third total animated camo added to the game in like 9 months, whereas with Sledgehammer Games, they had 50 plus animated camos added into the events of Modern Warfare 3. When we look at the camo itself, it's called speed lines, and what exactly does that have to do with COD Toons or American Dad? Well, the answer is nothing. It's literally just a random camo that was probably intended for a bundle that they decided to throw into the event so they could save some face now that everybody is finally, after all this time, talking about just how bad these events have been. I don't know about you guys, but I have zero interest in this event, if we can even call it an event, but as a Call of Duty YouTuber, I feel like it's my duty to suffer so you guys don't have to. So what I decided to do was play one match today. I played one game, my first game in like several months, and here I am searching. For some reason, it takes for freaking ever anytime you try to play Black Ops 6. Did they not deliberately come out and say that skill-based matchmaking makes matchmaking times faster, when the reality is matchmaking takes forever thanks to skill-based matchmaking? And if you go back to any pre-skill-based matchmaking game there is, it's instant. Pretty much instant matchmaking every single time. But once we do finally get into the game, you guys see it, man. Freaking Beavis and Butthead everywhere, cartoon characters everywhere, freaking Zeus there in the background, freaking shop bundle skin. Once we finally get into the game, we got Seth Rogen butt sliding around the map. It's an absolute disgrace, man. This is the current state of the Call of Duty franchise, and it's also the future of the Call of Duty franchise, which is not going to get any better, as we discussed in yesterday's video. Honestly, playing Call of Duty World War II over the course of this past week has really reminded me just how good COD used to be, man. Like, Sledgehammer did such a great job with that game, and speaking of Sledgehammer, today we got a new leak involving them, which I think a lot of you are going to find pretty interesting. So the most recent news surrounding Sledgehammer Games is they were hit with massive layoffs thanks to Microsoft. Over the course of a couple of months, Microsoft laid off like 16,000 employees and told their remaining people just to get comfortable working with AI, which honestly makes sense given how terrible the new Black Ops 6 bundles are. Freaking everything in that game anymore seems to be made by AI, but the three studios that were hit the hardest by the layoffs were Sledgehammer Games, Raven Software, and High Moon Studios. Well, today we got a leak from Ghost of Hope, which seems to indicate that the remaining folks over at Sledgehammer Games are being stretched thin because not only are they reportedly handling the entire multiplayer for Black Ops 7, but they're also busy at work making their own game for 2027. Here we can see from Ghost exclusive, COD 2027 by Sledgehammer Games will not be Advanced Warfare 2 and will instead be set in a completely new sub-franchise. He then goes on to say, set during the modern era, no jetpacks, but movement is planned to be the focus. Oh boy. Zombies is currently not planned for the game, Get High is planned to return, and there may be a focus on martial arts within the gameplay with karate kicks and karate chops as examples. Now, that last part there doesn't really make a ton of sense to me. Like, please tell me they aren't planning on replacing weapon hits or melee kills with freaking Kung Fu Panda. Like, I wouldn't put it past them. Don't get me wrong. I would not put it past them, but the rest of this is kind of interesting, right? So if you didn't realize it already, a new sub-franchise is something we basically never see in Call of Duty anymore. We had what? Ghost back in 2013. I think 2015 might have been Advanced Warfare, and then after that, Infinite Warfare was 2016, and then Vanguard was what, like 2022? Like, basically, everything about this franchise anymore is just Modern Warfare and Black Ops. But it seems like Activision are finally aware of the fact that fans are burnt out on playing in the same world, in the same universe, with the same characters, in the same time period, with the same guns, and the same kill streaks, and the same everything else, right? It feels like anymore, most new things added to Call of Duty are just rehashes from old games, which honestly makes a ton of sense. Like, if I'm Activision and my sole purpose in life is just to make as much money as possible while also pissing off NerosCinema as much as possible, then I'd have a pretty easy job, because on the one hand, they can sell nostalgia to old school COD fans, and on the other hand, as we now know that they are hyper-focused on bringing in children and a whole new generation of player, a lot of those folks never got to experience things like, firing range, the FAMAS, or the Galil, or Raid, or Hijacked, or whatever, right? So essentially, they can just rehash a bunch of old stuff and pretend like it's new for the new players, and then bring back the old stuff for the existing players because, hey, it's nostalgia, you guys are going to like it, right? Well, I don't think they anticipated just how quickly the old school fans grew sick and tired of seeing the same things over and over. Every year, it's firing range. Every year, they bring back the same guns. Every year, they bring back the same maps, right? It's the same thing over and over. So instead of doing Black Ops 8 or maybe Modern Warfare 5, a new sub-franchise would breathe some new life into the franchise. The idea of them also moving away from zombies is kind of interesting. Like, at least giving that a year off might be good for the series. I'm not entirely sure. Get High was honestly a pretty cool game mode, and expanding upon that would be nice, but ultimately, I don't think any of that is going to matter, because I'm honestly not sure how much of a player base Call of Duty is going to have by the time that game actually comes out. Now, I don't want to harp on my previous videos too much, but yesterday's video blew up for a reason. Activision is not making a tone shift to the franchise. They are fundamentally changing everything about the core identity of the series. It started off slowly, and then they really cranked things up to infinity with Black Ops 6, and we all know for a fact that Black Ops 7 is going to be more the same. I want to apologize to each and every one of you right now, because for a little bit here, I'm going to have to take away this nice, old school, classic, relaxing, wonderful Call of Duty World War II footage and replace it with the absolute eyesore that is Black Ops 6 nowadays. What is Call of Duty even about anymore, man? Like, I know this is going to hurt your eyes to have to even look at this in our M for Mature, Call of Duty used to be a military shooter, Black Ops universe, by the way, video game, but it's plain as day what's going on here. There's a few decent skins in here. Not that I'm defending shop bundles, because I never have and never will, but some of these don't offend the palate nearly as much as others, but facts are facts. This game is filled to the brim with cartoon characters, humanoid sharks, alien robots, freaking dinosaurs, puppy dogs, kawaii anime girls, furry costumes, unicorn dildos, and pretty much everything else. Activision know damn well what they are doing. They are catering this game to children and the newer generation of player, because that generation was raised with stuff like this being the norm, but to us old school COD players, this is the exact opposite of normal. I saw an exclusive Ace video yesterday, and honestly, it was pretty good. I think he beat around the bush a bit too much about skill-based matchmaking, because a lot of the problems he was talking about in regards to Black Ops 7 would be fixed by them addressing the matchmaking system, but something he said in there was really interesting to me. The idea here is Call of Duty should add a feature for fans to disable all of these stupid skins and replace them with theme appropriate ones. What Ace said, and what I see a lot of people saying, is that fans would hate that feature because if they paid for a skin, other players should be forced to see it. But is that not the big problem right there? If a skin in Call of Duty is so offensive to the palate and does not fit the theme of the game, if it's so outlandish and so stupid that it kills the immersion and the tone of the game, then why should fans be forced to see it? If people buy this shit and demand that other people have to see it as well, they are openly admitting that that skin does not fit the theme of the game, and they only purchased it to stand out, be different, and annoy others. If they truly bought the skin just because they like it, then fine, rock out with your freaking unicorn cock out, man, I don't care, but don't be upset if other people don't want to see that you wasted $30. I think the true reason why that toggle feature has not been added isn't because fans would be so mad that other people can't see their stupid fucking dinosaur skin. I think the real reason is paid shop bundle skins are a form of self-perpetuating promotion and marketing within the game. Activision want these skins to be outlandish, and they want these skins to stand out. By adding something in like Roger from American Dad into Black Ops 6, that skin is going to stick out like a sore thumb in every single lobby. No matter what you do, you are going to be forced to take note of that skin, and that's exactly what Activision wants. The more that you are aware of that skin, the more attention it gets, so love it or hate it, players are doing the marketing for Activision by running around with these skins in every single lobby, which leads to more people potentially buying the skins as a result. That's just how advertising works, man. Not everybody is going to buy it, not everybody is going to like it, but it's always going to be right there in your face, being seen, and eventually it's going to lead to some more sales. sales. That is the real reason why we will never see a toggle option within the Call of Duty franchise. It's not because fans are so conceited that they demand that other people take note of their $30 shop bundle. I'm sure there are some losers out there that think that way, but the real reason is because Activision wants those players advertising the $30 shop bundle within the game. It's the same reason why Activision sends out COD points to all the big channels. Oops, was I not supposed to say that, by the way? Yeah, Activision will buy the Battle Pass and Black Cell for YouTubers and even send them codes for the bundles, because at the end of the day, it's advertising for them and it costs them nothing. And for the YouTuber, all it costs them is their integrity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Call of Duty is running a freaking cartoon event as they add even more outlandish stuff into the game, and Sledgehammer is breaking away from the norm and making their own title in their own universe for Call of Duty 2027. I'm genuinely curious how many COD fans will even be left by that point. Like, obviously, the launch of the game is always going to be the high point, but Black Ops 6 lost over 50% of its player base since launch, and the idea of Black Ops 7 being an $80 DLC is certainly going to hurt sales this time around. Just look at what happened with Modern Warfare 2 going into Modern Warfare 3. That perception of Modern Warfare 3 being a DLC caused the game to sell almost 40% less at launch. So I imagine the same thing is going to happen to Black Ops 7, except for this time around, Black Ops 6 has even less players than Modern Warfare 2 used to have. Like, Call of Duty is certainly circling the drain right now, which is why they're making such a heavy shift towards shop bundles, cartoons, and catering the game to children. Instead of fixing the game and bringing back the tens of millions of players who love this franchise, they're instead going to try to bring in new people who never gave a shit about the COD franchise in the first place. Like, what are these people doing? What are they possibly thinking? It does not make any sense to me whatsoever, though it will be interesting to see how all this plays out. And as always, I'll be here with you guys every step of the way, but for right now, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Thank you so much for listening and for your continued support of my channel, and until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.